welcome back to my YouTube channel, Just Mel. So today I have some exciting news for y'all. I am telling you guys all about my grad school process, kind of like where I'm at now with school and what I'll be doing in the spring. So this is just a video about my grad school process, my application process basically, and how I chose my master's major. So let's get into it. In my hand right here, I have my admissions decision letter from grad school, and I actually opened this up yesterday, so I already know my decision. I'm going to grad school, but I wanted to share this with you all because I was excited and you guys didn't get to see my reaction, so I'm just gonna read to y'all what the letter says. It says, "Dear Melanie," that's me, "congratulations on your acceptance into the Counseling Master of Science degree program with a concentration in school counseling and the Department of Counseling, Educational Psychology, and Research." So basically, it's just my admission decision letter with everything laid out, talking about like advising appointments and everything like that. So I'm gonna tell y'all like a little bit of history about my educational background up until now. And when I was a freshman, it was in 2015, and I started out at Southwest Tennessee Community College, and my major was nursing. I was going for nursing when I first started in college, and I just like, as I was going through it, my first semester, or my first year, I want to say my first year after that summer after freshman year, after the second semester ended in May, I was just like, you know, I don't think this is for me. I don't really like it. And so I've never been like a math and science type person. I wanted to be a neonatal nurse. I've always wanted to work with kids, but nursing just wasn't my path, and I thought that it could be, but it wasn't for me. And so then I switched my major from nursing to teaching because everybody around me was like, "Oh my God, you're so good with kids. You know, have you ever thought about education?" So I was like, no, I actually haven't. And at that point, I didn't want to be a teacher because of all like the bad stereotypes that was associated with being a teacher, like the low pay, or they don't get any respect, this. So, you know, you heard it all, heard it once before, and it kind of just got pushed out of my mind. So one day I was babysitting for a friend, and my mom, she brought it up to me, my mom and her coworker actually, and she was like, you know, look into it. So I was like, okay. So I did my research on it, and it's still like, I changed my major from nursing to teaching, and like I still wasn't 100% happy with it, but I was like, okay, I'll just go along with it at this point. I'll go along. I need to, you know, be concentrated on something. It was like my sophomore year, so I've always been the type of person, I think I kind of rush myself, even though like you're supposed to know, you know, by your sophomore year like what you want to do, but it's still like early in the game. If you don't know what you want to do when you're a sophomore, that is okay, at least in my opinion. I feel like that's okay. Just give yourself a little bit of time so that you can actually give yourself the opportunity to figure out what you want to do in college. So anyway, switched my major from nursing to teaching, and I ran with that and I did that. But here is when it all started. So one day last spring, I had made an advising appointment, and I spoke with my advisor, and she was like, well, if you stick with teaching, you know, your graduation date will get pushed back by 2 years, and you won't be graduating until spring 2021. And I was like, are you serious? And she was like, yes, but you can change your major from teaching since you're unhappy with it, and you can change it to integrative studies with a concentration in youth services. And you can graduate on track, on time, since you already have like enough credits for that graduation fulfillment. So I was like, okay, cool, I'll do that, and then I'll just get my master's in something that I really want to do, because I was thinking like there's really no point for me to keep on going with this major when I'm really not happy with it, and then it's gonna push my graduation date back by 2 years, and then me getting my master's, everything will just be like off track, and there's like no point for me to keep on being in a major where I'm unhappy. So that's why I switched it to what I'll be graduating with now next Sunday, with a degree in integrative studies with a concentration in youth services. Now, with my undergrad degree, I'm still able to teach in schools. I'm still able to be like an after school tutor. I can still do things in the school systems. I can't just be like their full licensed teacher in the public school setting. But in the private school, then I would be able to be like their teacher. But since I knew like I really wasn't going to do much with my undergrad degree, like I can still get a job, which I am. But since I knew like I really wasn't going to use it and just stop there, I knew I had to find like the perfect major to get my master's in. And so I was deciding between SLP, which is speech language pathology, and school counseling. So this is how I found that I wanted to be a school counselor. So of course I'm looking at the pay, salary, and I'm looking at all the job descriptions and all the reviews and all the YouTube videos. And I was just like, I knew the type of person that I wanted to be. I knew the type of person that I wanted to be like in children's lives. I wanted to help them academically, but also on a personal level as well, which is why I knew teaching just wasn't for me, because teaching is too much. Yeah, you can reach a child personally, but you don't actually get to experience them on that personal level and have like a deeper connection with them. I feel like teaching is more so geared to the classroom, and that's okay. That's perfectly fine if that's what you want to do. But for me, I knew I wanted to reach children, you know, in the classroom and outside of the classroom, which is how I found out that I wanted to do counseling, because SLP, I mean, that's still going back to that healthcare field, and that is just not. I do not start my master's program until the spring in January. I go for orientation on January 15th, and I'm so excited. I'm expecting to meet like all other people in my program and my professors. Now let's get into the application process. I knew after graduating in December that I would want to go to grad school in the spring, because I didn't want to stop. I didn't want to take a gap year or a semester off, because I knew it would probably just make it harder for me to go back. So I was just like, let me go ahead and knock it out the way if I can, and that's why I wanted to do spring 2020. I applied to the program in October. My interview was scheduled for November 18th at 11 o'clock, and funny story. So before I like to go anywhere, you know, especially like little places like that where I gotta be professional and present myself well, I like to be like at least 10 to 15 minutes early. So I planned that morning to be on time, or at least like 10 to 15 minutes early. So I run at the house thinking that I had my heels like in my purse. So I run at the house with my black Uggs on, and then I get there and I sit down on the bench and I'm thinking, okay, I'm gonna put my heels on, look at my purse. My heel's not even in there. Like, y'all, I started freaking out, and I was like, oh my God, at this point I only had 5 more minutes left until my interview time. And so I knew I couldn't like walk back to my apartment and walk back in time. I would be late. So I ran in the office and I told them and I explained the situation, and she was like, it's okay, calm down, I promise it's not that serious, just, you know, just let them know what happened. So I actually got in my interview and I just let them know what was going on. It was 2 people that interviewed me. And if you guys actually want to see a video on like my interview process and everything like that, a separate video about like the questions that they asked, let me know down below in the comments. But anyway, so yeah, I let them know, and that was something that we actually laughed about and get past it. So it was kind of like a laughing moment. But you know, shout out to them, because everybody has literally been able to work with me and just laugh everything off, and I really think that I'm going to love everybody in my department. So it just makes me even more excited about it. Now I'm going to wrap it up and kind of get into like my application packet and what was all required. So within the application packet, I had to have 3 letters of recommendation, but I had 4, but it was up to 5. You can have a max of 5 letters of recommendations. I had 4. You had to submit your GRE scores, and they only counted your math, reading and writing, and the verbal part. So that's the ones that counted towards my counseling program. I had to answer questions, you know, the online portion. And then I had to submit a personal statement. And the personal statement was, you know, your general question. Why do you want to be a school counselor? What can you contribute? Questions like that. And so the personal statement had to be at least 500 words, and I got exactly 500 words without going over. I did have an application fee, and the application fee was $35. I want to say like after completing everything and having everything be submitted, I want to say it took at least 2 or 3 weeks until I heard something else. which was the next step, which was, you know, the invitation for interview. Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at now in the process. I got my decision, I've been accepted, and I have my advising appointment set up. My first advising appointment with my advisor, who was actually one of the ladies that interviewed me. She's super sweet, so I'm happy about that because now I already know her and we bonded about my situation. So yeah, that's kind of like why I wanted to make this video, because there's not a lot of people on YouTube. Like, there's not a lot of school counseling videos out there on YouTube for y'all to watch, and the videos that are on here on YouTube, they're really old and outdated and boring, and there's only a few, and I feel like the ones that were made, like, nobody actually like kept up with it. That's why I'm here, to keep y'all updated. And that's my major. If y'all want to know anything else, let me know. If y'all have questions about the school counseling major, let me know. My email is down below in the description box. And that's my journey. It starts in January. Hope you all enjoyed. Do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, why can't I talk? And as always, remember to be free and be you. See you in the next video.